I'm Tim.
Hi, I'm Carrie.
And I'm Nick.
Hi, I'm Laura Jacobs, and today I'm going to be talking to you a little bit about myself, but I'm going to be doing it in a slightly unusual way because I'm going to be telling you about myself through things that I have in my bag here. Now, my bag here actually does represent me to a certain extent. I'm not necessarily one who looks for labels. I'm not necessarily one who spends a lot of money. I look for a good bargain. This bag I got at Target for about $25, so that does represent me in that way. This bag, it also represents me in the fact that it's function over fashion. It's not something that's super out there, super pretty, super colorful. It's got a lot of pockets. You can carry everything that you need. You can organize to a certain extent as well. That's very me because I need organization in my life. Speaking of organization, the first thing in my bag here I have is actually a dry erase board calendar. I love using this calendar. I'm able to write out what I have going on for the week. I write down my homework assignments, my appointments that I have going on, my work schedule as well. It's always very satisfying for me to cross things off a list or erase them off a list. So that's why this whiteboard is very good for me. I get to X off the days, cross off any of my homework assignments. Also, I find a great deal of joy in getting to erase it and rewrite the schedule every month on this whiteboard. That's why I don't think a traditional calendar would work so well for me, because being able to pull up all of my schedules on everything that's due and that I need done, having all of that out in front of me once a month helps me mentally prepare for that coming month, that coming week, that coming day. And the fact that this hangs on my wall directly next to my bed, staring me down throughout the night, also helps me keep all of these things on my mind and better prepare for the situations to come. Another thing that I have in my bag here is my graph paper composition notebook. This graph paper composition notebook has currently 2 subjects worth of information in here. I have my math in the front and I have a graph from my chemistry class in the back here. And those 2 subjects happen to be some of my favorite subjects. I've always loved math because it came very easily to me. I always loved chemistry because who doesn't love making chemical reactions happen and using fire? It's always been a great joy of mine to do to work in those subjects. This notebook I've actually found throughout the years of working through different notebooks, especially with my math class. Regular notebooks, when it came to graphing, I always had a harder time drawing them out and comprehending them, in my opinion at least, because I had a harder time getting the points equal, and that always bothered me. This one, some would say that it's a struggle because you don't have as even of bold lines for taking the notes, but I find that almost a little bit more helpful for me. In the past, I've had a graph paper notebook where the pages would come out, so all of a sudden, at the end of a unit, I lost all of my work because it fell out of my notebook. But this one keeps it all bound together, and it keeps everything in the place that it should be. Also, this composition notebook represents me in the fact that I over-prepare for things a lot of the times, because this is the 9th notebook I bought to prepare for the semester of school. I've got 4 spiral notebooks, 4 notepads, and this composition notebook. I like to be a little bit more over-prepared because then it helps me relax a little bit more when it comes when it comes to crunch time and actually getting things done. Another thing that I have in my bag here is my headphones. Now, I use these headphones all the time. They constantly live on my head, and I know it's a pain in the neck for my parents when they're calling me from down the hall. But I'm always listening to music. It allows me to escape a little bit. If I'm playing something without lyrics to it, it can help me focus on my work sometimes. But as much as I love listening to music with these headphones, I also realize that they are slightly symbolic on the fact that I need to listen to people a little bit more. Because as much information as I absorb, I could absorb a lot more if I actually learned to listen better. Because I've noticed people will start talking to me, then all of a sudden I'm, oh yeah, I remember that 3 weeks ago when and I get completely distracted, and it's a total mess because then I have to ask a lot more questions. So listening is definitely a thing I need to work on. But listening helps me prepare, It helps me organize myself, just like all of the things in my bag here, and it helps me relax a little bit more when it comes to that crunch time.